Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the farm. We are going on our second boil of the 2024 sugar season, and instead of just going through and doing a regular vlog like I normally do and walk you kind of through step by step of what we've been doing with the boil, I decided today we're just going to do a sugar shop tour. So I'm going to take you guys around, show you sort of our workflow back here in our sugar shop, and some of the tools and pieces of equipment that we use that have simplified our sugar making process. So back here in this corner, this is our RO corner, our reverse osmosis corner. This is where the most amount of heavy lifting probably goes on. So over here, this is our reverse osmosis setup. There's our pre-filter, our two RO membranes. That is our high pressure booster pump. It's a diaphragm pump. So this was an RB10, an RO bucket, RB10. We took it out of the bucket and mounted it on the wall because we gave it this permanent location back here. And what the reverse osmosis allows us to do, through that high pressure pump, it is able to force the water molecules through these very fine filters. So the two RO filters, it is a very fine micron filter. And water molecules, since they're hydrogen based, are also very small. So only the water makes it through these filters. So out of the one side, in this trash can, we end up getting basically pure distilled water, nothing in it. Out of the other side, so out of our red tube here, we get our concentrate. So this is our permeate. Out of the red line comes our concentrate, and it is the concentrated, the sugar concentrated sap. So for every bit of water that we can pull out of it with the reverse osmosis, that's less water we have to boil off back here on the evaporator. So once we're finished at the RO, we come to this pump here. And with this pump, we are able to move our sap concentrate and our permeate water to their holding locations. So show you here, we have some permeate water going on here. So I will open the permeate valve. I will turn on the pump. And what this is able to do is it pumps our permeate water up across the ceiling over here to our two 55-gallon drums that we have as storage tanks. And then we have, from these 55-gallon drums, through some PEX connections here, we come to this little transfer pump that is on a light switch. And that's what operates our sink back here. We also have that valved over to a 10-foot piece of hose. And then we're able to open that, and it reaches over here to the evaporator, and we're able to clean the evaporator with our permeate water that we have stored here. One thing I really like about this pump, we got this on Amazon. I want to say it was about $65. It's pressure sensitive, so you can just shut the valve and the pump turns off. So from the same pump, we currently have all of our sap concentrate pretty much is over on the evaporator, so we'll have to pretend. But we can do the same thing. We can open the sap concentrate valve. It sends it up across the ceiling. And we go across this direction into our walk-in cooler. And then we have collection tanks, some more brute trash cans, food grade trash cans that we were able to store the sap in here. So when we go a few days between boils, we are able to keep the sap cold so it remains fresh and doesn't spoil. Especially after you've concentrated, it will spoil even easier than the regular fresh sap will. And we do that through, we have a CoolBot that hacks this air conditioner that allows us to keep it down under 40 degrees. Now I have the door open. You see the temperature is climbing because the door is open. But we're usually able to keep it at about 37, 38 degrees in here, as long as the outside air temperature doesn't get too much above 55. We're able to keep it below 40 in here. So that's where our sap gets stored in here. Then we have another small transfer pump here that we are able to pump from our collection out the door through this copper line that penetrates the wall here. Follows across the ceiling joist, down along the chimney pipe, and dumps right here into our pre-warmer. Don't really know how much we gain heat-wise pumping it across the chimney pipe like that, but it does look cool. And then we have our arch and our evaporator. So this was sort of a homemade arch. This is not a name brand. We found a welder that, lives about 40 minutes away from us. He sells these on Craigslist, so he makes these in his garage. We have a 2x4 divided tray, so we are able to do draw-offs. As you can see, we have 3 distinct different levels of sugar going across the 3 flutes of the pan, maybe you'd call it. So we add from our pre-warmer here up top into our divided pan. And then we have our custom vent hood up above that we have connected to this piece of HVAC duct that goes out the window here, not out the window, through the wall here. And that is driven by this 8-inch ventilator fan. That is from Harbor Freight. So that is a moisture, sort of waterproof ventilator fan. And then we just have another piece of duct that extended it out a little bit so it wouldn't drip here, because we do store some stuff back here on the porch. And that is what powers our steam hood. In addition to the vent hood, since we are in an enclosed room here in this barn, we also have an auxiliary exhaust fan that is constantly pulling air across the room. Normally while we're boiling, this will either be open, right now it's just cracked, and then we also have the window to allow for us to have some cross ventilation, because especially when we're working on the tray and we have the vent hood open, those are just on piano hinges. When we have that open, we do get some spillover, and that helps suck it out. Because I have had a good number of people ask me over the years, do we have issues with moisture back here? Because we are in this is just one room inside of our barn. My workshop is next door, and this has an entire upstairs. So that's the secondary thing that we did outside of the vent hood. We did the secondary exhaust fan to help turn the air over in here. And then we have our CDL vacuum filter. So this is their 9-inch vacuum filter. And this thing has been awesome. It probably was one of our bigger splurge purchases for our syrup process, but it's probably been the one that has taken the most time and effort out of the whole process. So we are able to go straight from our draw off right here. We have a small vacuum that connects here. It is able to suck the syrup down through the filter medium into the pot. We have a temperature gauge, so we make sure we stay at or above 180 degrees. So we're sanitizing bottles as we go in. And then we have our little filler that I made out of just a couple of copper connectors that we are able to bottle straight out of the filter. So we filter into the bottle, finished product, all in one shot. And last but not least, my favorite part, all of the super fun artwork we have Lots of fun winter scenes. Lots of fun sugar house scenes. Most of this all fun stuff that my mom found for real cheap at the thrift store. So that's it, guys. That is a tour of our sugar shop and of the way our workflow goes when we're back here making syrup. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about how any of it worked, I have a video on just about every piece of this, and actually I will put them down in the description. I have stuff about the RO, I have stuff about the transfer pumps, I have a couple videos on building the walk-in cooler, and I have some videos about setting up the vent hood and installing the arch. So I will link all of those in the description, and I probably will put cards in the video as well as I was talking about each one of those things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, think about hitting that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next time, y'all, we will see ya.